What is up, YouTube? We are back. I know, a long awaited wait. I know. We had some rough ish weather out here. Got snowed in elsewhere. So, had that going on. But on this little brief hiatus, a lot has happened. A lot to get into, a lot digging, a lot of reacting and opinions about to come out. So, let's just jump right on in. If you're new here, welcome to the program. This is the Fumble Pod, and I am your host, Dalton Lee. Now, we're going to start off with the two championship games, AFC Championship and NFC Championship. AFC Championship was New England, Denver. In Denver, we picked New England to win, and we were right. But boy, was that an ugly game. I mean, truly, I almost hate to say that was a conference championship game. At first, it didn't look like it was going to be that bad. It was like, okay. We had questions about, is Stidham going to really be any type of effective in this game. In that opening drive, first two drives, I was like, okay. Stidham, was getting the ball out quick and on time. Made a couple nice passes. Was like, okay. This scored a touchdown. I'm like, he's got it. He might have it. And then it just fell apart. They're up 7-0, fell right apart. Drake May couldn't do nothing. Denver's defense, incredible. That defensive line wreaked havoc all game. But the turning point in this game really was that backwards pass, which Stidham, I know he had only made 4 career starts in the NFL prior to this game. The least amount ever by a quarterback starting in a conference championship. And yet, you can't do that. It's third down. You're getting sacked, you're under pressure. I understand you're trying to throw it away, but you got to have a little awareness of the situation. You're up 7-0. Your defense is playing lights out. Take the sack. At least then you get the opportunity to punt the ball, which you got a pretty damn good punter. And let your defense just get you the ball back. Instead, you attempt to throw the ball away. You throw it lateral and or backwards. I think it was more lateral than backwards. You let the Patriots recover. 2 plays, they score. And then you kind of really just give momentum to New England. Score there, they get a stop, get the ball back, get a field goal. 10-7. And then we just kind of go to halftime and it's like, okay, how's this going to work? Because Denver's offense is now deflated. Can't run the ball. Passing game's really not there. And then a blizzard shows up in the second half. Can't even see the damn field. I mean, truly, there was little to no offense in that second half. Truly a disgusting second half. I mean, I couldn't see the ball. I know the people out there could not see the ball. I don't even know how the refs were even able to spot the ball, like on punts, first downs. I have no clue. No clue. Because if you're looking, okay, the wind and the snow is just going right to left, right? You can't see it. And it was at the point where if you were on offense going away, like if you were going with the wind, it's the only time you could play offense. But New England didn't realize that until the end of the third quarter when they were heading that way. Not New England, Denver, heading that way. Immediately get to the fourth quarter and they got to go into the snow. It was game over. No passing game. Balls are dying, falling short. You couldn't run the ball anyway. So you just went out there and ran 3 plays just to punt it. And then you couldn't hardly punt it. It was truly a disgusting game. It was a joke for a conference championship, in my opinion, which obviously is neither of the team's fault per se. Maybe the first half. Maybe the first half a little bit. But that second half, isn't really their fault. Gotta put a dome on it. I understand you want to build up these teams to weather storms and whatnot, but I don't care who's playing quarterback for Denver in that second half. You weren't going to be moving the ball at all. Truly. Maybe a little more effectively just because Bo Nix is a little more athletic. I mean, that was really the big difference. Jarrett Stidham was not getting mobile. Drake May had 7 rushes, 6 for first downs, 1 for a touchdown. That was kind of the difference in the game, realistically. I mean, New England grinded out a tough win to go to the Super Bowl in a year where really we would have applauded if they won 8 games and they're going to the Super Bowl and maybe have a chance. Maybe. I mean, if you're there, you have a chance. If you're in the game, you have a chance. But, you know, Denver's got a lot of things they got to figure out. I think they just fired their offense coordinator, so they're going to be bringing in some new coaching staff, which I really don't know why. I thought overall the coaching had been pretty good. Maybe in like the early to middle part of the year, the offense looked a little weird at times, but I thought postseason, last 4 or 5 games of the season looked really good, really effective. So I don't know. They're just shaking some things up. I trust in Sean Payton. He knows what he's doing. They'll be back as long as, depending on how Bo Nix's ankle looks, they'll be back. So there's nothing to worry about there. But then the NFC, transitioning over, we had arguably one of the greatest games of the postseason. Arguably. I don't know if I say it would, but it was a damn good game. Seattle hosting the Rams. Great game. Yeah, 2 offenses that started kind of going back and forth. And then Seattle, they're in it. They got a little bit of a lead. They were able to score late in the first half to take a lead. We're like, okay. They're doing just fine. They're doing what they need to do at home. They get balls start second half. Rams force 3 and out. I'm like, okay. Rams are gonna get right back into this. Muffed punt by, I think his real name is Bloomfield. I'm calling him Bumfield. Seattle scores immediately the next play. And it's like, okay, that's kind of ball game. And yet, with all this momentum pulling to Seattle, the Rams just kept fighting. And that's got to be one of the best coaching second halves I've seen in a while. I mean, Mike Macdonald called a good day, but Sean McVay, phenomenal on offense. Defense was able to make a couple big plays, but that offense just kept rolling. You got Puka, Devontae, Matthew Stafford getting a little elusive. I think he ran for 2 first downs. They were like for 2, like maybe a total of 3 yards, but he's getting loose. Nobody can tackle the man. He's 40. He's 38. He's old and just breaking tackles. Like, they just were playing with fire. But the one thing you got to do in a close game, there's 2 things. You got to be risky. You got to take chances. And you got to get stops on defense. And neither of those worked out for the Rams in the last 4 minutes of the game. Rams put together a really good drive, had to convert a couple 4th downs, make big key 3rd downs, all the way to get to 4th and goal. 4th and goal, you're only down 4. So, I think it was 4. Yes, 31-27. You go for it, you get the touchdown. You're up 3 with 4 minutes left in the game. Putting yourself in a position where your defense can bend, give up a field goal, you're tied. Or if the Seahawks are able to just drive down the field and get a touchdown, you're probably getting the ball back with at least a decent bit of time, and you got an offense that can move. 4th and goal, you go for it, you can't get it. Okay, there's still 4 minutes left in the game. Your defense in the second half has played better. Fair. I didn't hate the call. I probably would have also went for it there in this in this type of game, the way things are going. You got momentum trying to shift your way, but then your defense just can't get a stop. Multiple 3rd down opportunities, just can't get them. If it was 3rd and 7, Seattle would get 8. 3rd and 9, they'd get 10. And I know everybody for that first 24 to 36 hours was questioning, did Cooper Kupp get that first down? Let's just take it back for a second. I think he did. It looked, at first it was like, did he get the yard markage? It's like, okay, it's close enough. Even if it's 4th and short, Seattle's going to go for it. They're on the middle of the field. They can get a couple inches. But then looking at a replay, it's like, did Cooper really catch it? Because if we're looking at it, he's going, he rolls over the defender, hits the ground. Ball comes out. And the Rams played it like it was a fumble. They're like, nope, it's not a fumble. It's like, okay. So if the ball pops out when you hit the ground, it can't be a fumble because you hit the ground. So then in retrospect, would that not be an incompletion? The argument being made is by the time the ball, his hands with the ball hit the ground, his knee was down, he already made a football move, completing a catch. It's just, it was a weird ticky-tack call in my opinion. Just because, yeah, he took 2 steps, but the ball comes out. Because he caught it and is taking the 2 steps while being tackled. Call me old fashioned. I think you got to survive the ground. Personally, I think you got to survive the ground. This is where we kind of needed a ball don't lie moment, and we did. We did only because first play Seattle runs the ball, gets like 2 or 3 yards. Second play, they went play action, trying to throw it to JSN, and he's just getting held the whole time. They get the call. Next play, they get like 8 or 9 yards, get another first down this ball game. I'm like, okay, I guess ball doesn't lie. It was a hell of a game. If I'm the Rams, I'd get a new defense coordinator because you have too much talent on defense, too much young talent on defense to not produce at the level you should be. Just last year, you had 2 of the top 3 defensive rookie of the year candidates. This year couldn't produce at the same level stats wise. But if you watch them, it's like, how would you block them? With Kobe Turner in the middle, who's also been really good. It's like, how do you block that? But the issue is they're not necessarily getting blocked. It's that they're winning their one-on-ones when they get the opportunity. It's just almost like they're winning them like half a second late. Like if they get off that block a half second earlier, they probably get another 10 to 15 total sacks on defense. They just don't do it. I also feel like they don't produce enough turnovers. But then again, at the same time, if your pass rush is just half a second late, that's leaving an extra half a second or so in passing windows to cover. So it's a trade-off scenario here. It's like, okay, so if this happens, this is going to happen. Whereas if pass rush gets early, it's either A, a sack, or B, tip ball, C, pass thrown early, errant throws become turnovers. So if I'm the Rams, I'm looking for either a new defense coordinator, D-line coach, something to help that D-line get back to that production. Because I've seen the Rams multiple times take a defensive line unit that was really only led by Aaron Donald, and then the rest of the guys are just eating. Where I look at this, I'm like, you have 3 to 4 really good, competent defensive linemen, and you don't get nearly as much sacks, pressure. I mean, they got home a couple times tonight, but there were several times Sam Darnold was able to kind of evade and make an extra throw. It's like, you got to get home at some point. But at the same time, does that just also speak volumes for the Seahawks team as a whole? Because their team played really good. Their defense still played really good. I understand they allowed 27 points. Their defense still played really good. But the one thing that has bothered the Rams all year does it again, special teams. You also got to address special teams. You cannot have 2 muffed punts. You recovered 1. You got lucky on that first one. That second one completely wiped away all momentum that you could have had. And then you were fighting uphill the rest of the way versus kind of more plateaued in the game. You got to figure out special teams. And I am honestly surprised that their special teams is that bad. Just because I feel like Sean McVay is so good at finding talent. I would think in key positions, even on special teams, returners, gunners, he would be able to find guys. And I think Bloomfield is a talented guy. It's just I don't think kick return is his specialty or punt return. I don't think it's his specialty. I think you gotta find somebody who's better at it. Not saying entirely it's his fault, but when we look at the game, it's like that muff punt did change a lot. It's the ripple effect, if you will. If he catches it, who knows? Who knows? Maybe the game plays out different. Rams don't have to go for it on 4th and goal. Maybe they can kick field goal, take a lead, and you put pressure on Sam. Who knows? But we did go 2 for 2. We got our Super Bowl matchup predictions correct. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I cannot wait to kind of dissect it, look at the teams, look at the matchup. I am waiting to see kind of more accurately what that line's going to be. I took the idea of probably Seattle by 4.5 to 5.5, somewhere in that range, just because of how good New England still has been this year, even though we can make the argument of who they played. But that's all tit for tat. Then I got a couple NFL news things we're going to go over. So first one is Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl is a joke. Okay. I say it's a joke. Excuse me. It's kind of a joke. Kind of not. So in the AFC, obviously Drake May had made the Pro Bowl. He can't go. He's in the Super Bowl, obviously. Patrick Mahomes can't. He's hurt. Bo Nix can't. He's hurt. I think their representatives right now, I think it's, see, I don't even know. I just know who the third quarterback is because they also try to put Trevor Lawrence in it. He's not doing it. Joe Burrow's not. He's hurt. So who'd they put in there? Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowl quarterback. Quarterback that had a losing record, more turnovers than touchdowns, and is a rookie. Now, at first, everybody's going to be like, whoa, this isn't really fair to Shedeur. I agree. I agree that this isn't fair to Shedeur. Just because he's already been in the limelight for a lot of things when I do think he's just a young kid guy. I say young, he's close to my age. He's just a young guy in the league trying to find his way, trying to get himself into a position to be a really good quarterback. And I think he's got a good enough talent to be a good quarterback. Had a rough year this year. A lot of people giving their opinions about his play and his personality and so on and so forth. And then the NFL invites him to the Pro Bowl. I do not blame Shedeur a bit. If you get invited to the Pro Bowl, go. Why not? Why not go? The issue is the NFL invited him. Just because it's just going to put an even bigger target on his back. If he fails to amend to anything, it's just going to be a big target on his back. It's going to be like, yeah, this guy was terrible in the league, but he's a Pro Bowl quarterback. So it's putting him in an unfair advantage and putting him in a shit situation, if you will, honestly. I like the guy. I think he's got talent. I think he could be really good. Again, happy for him. He's getting to go to the Pro Bowl. He's going to be out there with a lot of great players hanging out. Maybe he can pick up on a couple things from some veteran quarterbacks and know how to go into his second year. I'm rooting for the guy. I think he's got good talent. We're just going to have to wait and see, but I do think the NFL kind of set him up on this. Everybody keeps wanting to beat up on people. I'm happy for him. And then we get to probably the biggest news in the last 24 to 48 hours. Some of the NFL Hall of Fame voting just came in. And if you don't know how the voting works, there's 50 people on the committee that vote for the Pro Bowl. You have to get at least 40 votes, 75% or more of the votes to get in. And, there's a couple people from last year, some first timers for the votes to get voted on to get in. Bill Belichick is not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm going to repeat that one more time just so nobody knows this isn't AI. Bill Belichick is not going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame coach. What are we doing? What are we doing as a committee? I've seen people give their excuses. I've seen some people try to make reasoning of it. There's some people out there in the sports world saying, oh, well, each person gets 3 votes. Well, I'm not going to use one of my votes on Bill Belichick. Everybody else is going to vote on him. I'm going to vote on another guy I think should get in. That is a bullshit excuse. The question shouldn't be who are the other 3 guys I'm going to vote for. The question should be, all right, Belichick's crossed off. Who gets the other 2? Plain and simple. Have your opinions on the man. Have your opinions on the Patriots teams. That guy is a hell of a coach. That guy is, I don't want to say the golden standard, but that's like, that is the, if you're a player coming in, I'm going to reference a couple leagues here. If you're a young player coming in the league, NBA, you're looking to get up there with Michael and LeBron and Kareem. You go to the NFL, you want to be the next Tom, Peyton, even to get up to a Mahomes level. That is the goal. The goal for coaching is to get to that point where you're in the conversation with Don Shula, Vince Lombardi, Belichick, Andy Reid, guys like that just win and win in the big times. He's an 8-time Super Bowl champion. 6 times with the Patriots. Like, what are we doing? Like, that is arguably the greatest coach. You could argue, he's second in all-time wins, most rings. He's first or second. In my opinion, he's in the top 2 and not number 2. He is the greatest coach in the NFL of all time. Plain and simple. And we're not going to get him in on the first try. What are we doing? Another excuse that's floating around is, oh, well, this is kind of a backdoor punishment for Spygate and Deflategate and all this stuff. Okay. You have a little bit of traction with that when you say it, but at the end of the day, still won 8 rings. Still was the greatest to do so. And then the third argument, I think honestly has the most traction, is he the greatest coach, or did some pieces kind of fall into place at the right time and he was good on one side of the ball? He didn't have to worry about offense. He had Tom Brady. His job was defense. He put together some hell of a defenses, though. Even before that, when he was in New York, coaching the Giants, coaching Lawrence Taylor, hell of damn good defenses. When we get the Patriots, it's like, okay, great defenses. For a while, the offense kind of, You had Drew Bledsoe for a little bit. He was good. He gets hurt. Tom Brady comes in, is phenomenal. Goes through a little rough patch early, but he's phenomenal. And then, we see what happens when Tom leaves for Tampa. Belichick stays. Patriots did go to the postseason under Mac Jones and then fell apart entirely, blew it up. And then Tom Brady in year 1 in Tampa goes and wins a ring without Belichick. So I see that argument being made. It's somewhat of a valid argument, but at the end of the day, Belichick is still a hell of a coach. Belichick, in my opinion, deserved to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's honestly a true disaster class that he doesn't get in first try. Now, this does set it up to where Tom Brady is eligible next year. This does set it up to where, okay, we can put Belichick and Brady in at the same time. 2 guys that built their careers off of each other's success on their respective side of the ball. Okay, I can get behind that if that's what they're trying to do. But that means they should have been ready for this. They should have been ready for all this backlash coming in. It's just utterly insane. It's insane that we have to have this conversation. That'd be like, if and when, Mahomes' career is done. Mahomes will probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Just because of how quickly and almost effortlessly it was to pass the baton from Brady to him. Played in that one Super Bowl after Mahomes had won a ring. Brady rides off into the sunset a couple years later, and Mahomes is just picking up where Brady left off. It'd be like arguing, why isn't Mahomes the first ballot when it gets to that point? We're not there yet. I don't know if I'd make him a first ballot today, but, he had a down year this year. But with his talent level and how good he is as a player, he'll get to that point. It's insane that we got to have this conversation. Belichick got robbed. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. Well, that's all I got for you today. That's all I got today. So next week, big week. Next week will be the game week of the Super Bowl. Probably go over some college stuff. Go over NFL stuff. It's going to be a very busy week. If you're new here, subscribe, hit the notification button, let you know we're posting more content. If you've been around for a minute, throw something in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling about any of this news going on. Is your team making moves that you like? So on. But until next time, deuces.